Joining me now to discuss is Kari Lake, Republican candidate for Senate in Arizona. She was also the GOP nominee in the state's 2022 gubernatorial election. She's a surrogate for the Trump campaign. Kari, thank you for being here. So it's true, we asked the Trump campaign to please tell us on what basis does he, Trump, oppose the border bill that's being negotiated in the Senate. Instead of answering the question, they said, well, you should talk to Kari Lake. So here you are. What's the answer? Why does Trump oppose this bipartisan bill?
Because it is terrible for the American people. And President Trump stands for the American people. He's all about making a deal, but not a garbage deal. And you're cherry picking whatever you just showed there. And you're forgetting the part that this bill does nothing to further build the wall. And by the way, the wall does work. Otherwise, Joe Biden wouldn't have had it welded in the open position to allow this invasion. It doesn't do anything to stop the fentanyl pouring across. This bill would actually legalize nearly 2 million of these illegal immigrants every single year. This bill does nothing to help the American people. And it also, by the way, sends money to Ukraine. And the American people are sick and tired of it. They're absolutely sick and tired.
If you were listening to my earlier, Kari, if you were listening to my earlier conversation with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., you heard me say, do the simple math, 1.8 million still seems annually like too many. But I was raised to believe that half a loaf is better than none at all. So if it would enable the shutdown if overwhelmed, speed up the asylum process, and raise the standard for asylum claims, why not take the win? Because if you don't, it looks like Trump is now acting like Nixon or John Connally on Reagan's behalf to just try and save the win for himself.
I assure you, if a deal came out of Washington, D.C. that secured that border, stopped the Biden invasion, stopped the fentanyl from pouring across, that President Trump would get behind that. This is not about politics. He cares about the American people, which is why he single-handedly secured that border when he was president, and he had all kinds of political daggers coming at him. I live in Arizona. You're sitting in Manhattan. I'm here in Arizona where we have it the worst right now. We have tens of thousands of people crossing a day. We have Narcan in elementary schools because there's so much fentanyl pouring across our border that it's getting into the hands of our children. And President Trump cares about securing America, making our streets safe. He would support a deal that did that. But this deal is absolute garbage.
I wonder if he's jeopardizing the strongest political hand that he has. Here is what Senator Mitt Romney had to say. Listen to this.
We have a crisis at the border. The American people are suffering as a result of what's happening at the border. And someone running for president ought to try and get the problem solved, as opposed to saying, hey, save that problem. Don't solve it. Let me take credit for solving it later.
Isn't that the perception that will take hold?
Thank you for giving me a good laugh. I needed one to start the day. You're going to take Mitt
Romney. Well, go ahead and respond. Respond substantively.
I'll respond to that. Mitt Romney is not a good deal maker. President Trump knows a bad deal when he sees it, and this is a bad deal for the American people. This does nothing to shore up our national security. We have millions of people, more than 12 million here illegally, countless that are here with nefarious reasons to hurt America. And this does nothing to root out those terrorists and stop them from coming in. 168 countries. That's how many people are coming in from 168 countries around the globe. And we're not vetting them. They're coming from countries with known ties to terrorism. And it's a matter of time before the American people are hurt. I'm a mother. I'm tired of watching what's happening on the border. And other Americans feel the same way, Michael. We can't continue along like this. And President Trump wants to see real security, not some horrible deal that ties us down to accepting millions of people who are here illegally to stay here. These people have come illegally.
So let me say this.
And they shouldn't be allowed to stay.
Mitt is not alone on the politics of this. The Wall Street Journal editorial page, not exactly a progressive or liberal bastion. I'll read it to you as I put it on the screen. Giving up on border security bill would be a, quote, listen to this now, self-inflicted GOP wound. President Biden would claim with cause that Republicans want border chaos as an election issue rather than solving the problem. There's more to it. But you would say what to the Wall Street Journal, Kari Lake?
I would say they're absolutely wrong. I mean, we've watched this border, I call it the Biden invasion, carry on for years now under Joe Biden. He came in on day one and peeled back an effective plan that President Trump had in place. He and his corrupt government administration is aiding and abetting this invasion at our border. And we need to go down there, finish the wall, get National Guard troops on the border, and stop these people from pouring across. And then we need to sort out the 12 million people who are here. And in order to save our homeland, we need to send them back to their homeland and start repatriating these people back to their homeland. We can't afford to take on all the world's problems. We have so many problems of our own here, and we're forgetting about the American people.
Kari Lake, thank you for being here. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you having me on.